Today I show you another beautiful piece of electric machinery. Meet the electric off-road and skateboard Roadie. And it's time to have a proper test of it. Let's go!
Why did darkness come? Why did darkness come?
Hi guys, as usually it's me, just a voiceover, and you're watching Review Machines. About a year ago, I made a review of another electric skateboard. Though that video wasn't very popular, I personally liked so much to ride an electric board. But that board had a drawback. It needed only perfect roads. That is why I got interested in the off-roading skateboards.
Did darkness come?
And one of the newest brand producing such boards is Roadie Company. They gave me their new board for a test. They've just started their business, but according to them, they are trying to make off-roading boards with the best quality in the market. Even more interesting, they are trying to make their boards to be affordable. But we'll talk about prices later. And now let's have a closer look at this beautiful board. When I said beautiful, I really meant it. It's really nice looking board in every its detail. It's so pleasure to look at it, and even more to own it. The platform entirely is made of carbon. This material provides lightweight and durability. By the way, all the electric parts are installed so naturally here, so many people even might think it's just a regular skateboard without any electric features. But let's get closer to the specs. This board is insanely powerful. It's equipped with two motors, 1500 watts each. There is a belt drive, quite a serious solution for such board. The battery installed inside the platform. There are two variants, 7 or 14 Ah 36 volts battery. All the parts and gears are made of aluminum, and they look very durable. The wheels are made of special rubber. Their diameter is 195 mm. Such wheels are rather soft like pneumatic, but they don't afraid of punctures. The build quality is perfect. Every tiny detail is mounted here very carefully. Now let's see how it's to handle the board. There is remote controller to handle it. To accelerate, just to push the joystick forward. To slow down, you are to pull it back. So useful feature, there is a bright display on the controller with the proper info. It shows current mileage, general mileage, a current speed and the battery status. Besides, there is a special vibration signal to warn you about some important info about the board. Moreover, there is even the flashlight. It's all well considered solution. Well, and now I strain at the leash to start our test. But before I start riding, it's necessary to put on a proper outfit. No matter if you're a pro rider or a newbie like me, you have to wear some defensive equipment riding on such boards. Guys, first of all I should say, I am absolutely not a skater. Actually, it's my second board at all that I rode on. I was training just several hours before we start filming, so I can't show everything this board can do, but I'll do my best. But as soon as you get more skills riding on this board, you start really enjoying the process. It's absolutely not like riding some electric scooters or bikes. When you are skateboarding, you should entirely control not only the board, but your body, and that is really exciting. One of the most important advantages of this board, that it allows you to ride not only on asphalt, but on rough ground. Due to the big wheels, you can move over some hummocks, rocks and other obstacles. Another good feature of the board is power. The belt drive provides an insane torque. If you push the full throttle while starting from the spot, it's even not enough traction for the wheels, so I think it's even more powerful than it's necessary. By the way, it's possible to use rear-wheel drive or on the contrary front-wheel drive. I prefer to ride with front-wheel drive, it's easier for me, but usually most people use rear drive. The board weighs 11 kilos, so sometimes it's not so simple to carry it in your hands, but it may ride near you like your pet. Or you may carry the board in this way, and it's not a problem to take it with you in public transport, unlike big scooters or bikes. Another not very important but pleasant feature that you may always sit on the board in any place. Sometimes it may be useful. While I have a short rest, I would like to say a few words more about the controller. Undoubtedly it's quite comfortable, but if you ride with the front drive, the odometer doesn't work, so it's a little drawback. Another downside, it's not very good position for the power button, it's not comfortable to touch it in that place. But now it's time to move on, let's go! Yeah, good boy. The more I rolled the board, the more I liked it. It really allows you to move on rough ground, and that is an insane feature for an electric board. The only thing that may be considered as some drawback, that the wheels are slightly hard. I think it may be better to use here pneumatic wheels. They are obviously softer. The board has enough torque even to climb quite steep ascents. On descents, a lot of good does the recuperation system, charging the battery. Meantime, I felt the vibration of the remote controller. The battery was empty. I was riding about 4 hours on one charge. So I think it's a good result, taking into account that I rode on rough terrain. But it's interesting to know the exact range of this board, so we decided to make another real test of this most important characteristic. So stay with us, we'll charge the battery and get back in few moments. Well, we are ready, let's start the range test. By the way, I would like to say a few words about the maximum speed. There are 3 modes: slow, middle and fast. And frankly speaking, I managed to accelerate with full throttle only on the second mode. I reached the speed about 38 km/h. It could easily go much faster, but I'm not so skillful rider to move on a board with such speed. According to the official specs on the third mode, the maximum speed is almost 50 km/h, but it's only for pro riders. Moreover, you should be very careful riding on such boards if you don't have enough experience like me. At that moment, I pushed the brake too abruptly, and the board started wobbling, and then I felt. That is why it is necessary you should wear sun defense riding on such boards. Let's get back to the range. As I said, my board is equipped with 7 Ah battery. According to the specs, the range with this battery is 15 km. My result was about 14 km. Frankly speaking, I wanted more. So there is a reason to buy such board with 14 Ah battery and 30 km range. And now it's high time to speak about the prices. Rody it's a new brand, and now they give good prices to promote their production. My version with 7 Ah battery costs $900, and with 14 Ah $1,000. I put the link to the manufacturer in the description. To sum up this review, I should say I really like this board with perfect design. It's insanely powerful and qualitative thing. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider subscribing the channel if you like this video. Stay with us, it will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.